Welcome everyone to the home of winning PGA picks, the PickGuru and RotoWire weekly preview show. This week we'll be running through the Memorial Tournament from Dublin, Ohio on the PGA Tour and steering you to the best plays in the tournament. My name's Matt Hardy, I'm head of content here at PickGuru, and I'm joined by PGA expert Ryan Andrade from RotoWire. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here. I'm excited for Memorial Week. It's always, it's one of the best fields of the year. Outside the majors, the WGCs, things like that. We got Jack Nicklaus, 18-time major champion, as the host this week. So it should be a fun event.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And there's excuse me, and there's £500 up for grabs with this week's PickGuru category picks game. We'll be running through those categories today and discussing our outright picks for the tournament as well. If you want to get involved, if you're watching this and you want to play, you can download the app simply by following the link below. Please get involved, invite your friends. There's a category picks game. There's matchups where you can predict the outcome of 3 balls and 2 balls. Please do get involved, and we look forward to seeing you on PickGuru. Let's kick off with those categories. The first one is the European Stars. Ryan, who gets the vote here?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm looking at Jon Rahm. I think he's got a big score to settle this week. Last year, obviously, the first 3 rounds were as good a first 3 rounds as we've ever seen. Was 18 under par, had a 6-shot lead over the rest of the field. Just firing on all cylinders there. He fits the score so well. He's first this season in strokes gained off the tee, first in greens and regulation percentage, and second in strokes gained tee to green. So he's got everything clicking. And the issue this year has been the putter and short game, but I think there's a lot of long rough around the greens, and there's the greens are pretty speedy. So I think everybody's going to sort of struggle this week, and I think Rahm has what it takes to get the second win of the year.
Yeah, and settle the score from last year, obviously, when he was cruelly denied the victory that would have been his. Shane Lowry, for me, myself and Len have talked about Lowry a lot this year on this show, and he finally gets my vote. He was 6th here last year. That's his best effort in 6 attempts to date. He ranks very highly for some of the metrics that you've just mentioned. So he's 23rd tee to green, 8th for approach, 3rd for proximity, 1st for scrambling, and 11th for putting. So he has a really nice all-round profile. He's had 9 top 25s in a row for individual stroke play events, which is a remarkable level of consistency. And I think he'll go under the radar in this category with Rory and Rahm both in there. I think they'll both be popular. So Lowry for me. Let's move on to the US Elite category, Ryan, and get your selection for this one.
Yeah, I think this is the toughest one of the week to pick. You look at all 5 of these guys really are just incredible players. They could all very easily win this week. My thought is sort of, Patrick Cantlay and Collin Morikawa are probably going to be the 2 guys that people are focusing on, just because both of them have a win at this course before. And obviously they were in the playoff last year. So, but I think the right play is Will Zalatoris. He's coming off a missed cut at Colonial, but obviously, the week before that, he was in the playoff with Justin Thomas at the PGA Championship. So leading the PGA Tour in strokes gained tee to green. And for whatever reason, he just has a knack for playing better at courses that are really difficult like this.
Nice, yeah. You think he's going to potentially finally get the monkey off his shoulder and win one of these big ones?
I mean, he's been so close for so long now that he keeps playing like this, keeps hitting the ball as well as he did. It's going to be hard to keep him out of the winner's circle.
Yeah, a man who found his way into the winner's circle for the first time in a long time last summer was Xander Schauffele, and he's my pick in this category. When he won the Olympics, he's 9th tee to green, 16th for approach, 10th greens in regulation, 19th scrambling. He's a bit like that Lowry mold. He's very, very solid in all those key areas. His form figures at Muirfield are missed cut on his first attempt, but then 14th, 14th, 13th, 11th. So he's yet to finish out of the top 14 in his last 4 appearances here. So he's knocking on the door. He was 13th at the PGA, 5th at the Byron Nelson. Prior to that, he won the Zurich with Cantlay. I just think he's a really solid play. I like him. I'm going for consistency this week. So Lowry and Schauffele in the first 2 for me. That brings us on to the World Elite section. And let's get your vote for this one.
Yeah, this is a group with a lot of great ball strikers here. But I'm leaning towards Hideki Matsuyama just because I think he has the best record at Muirfield Village of this group. He got his first PGA Tour win here when he was in 2014. And he's got 4 total top 15 finishes here. So obviously likes it. It makes sense that he plays well considering how good of a ball striker he is. I mean, this season he's 6th in strokes gain approach, 12th in greens and regulation percentage. So I think it's time for Hideki to grab another one.
Yeah, I love Hideki. I'm a huge Hideki fan. I think when you look specifically at this course, it's like a microcosm of Matsuyama's career. I think he's almost leading the field for approach, and he's almost bottom for putting. So hopefully he turns that around and goes close. Any concern about his fitness? Because I'm one of many DFS players that were stung quite badly by his withdrawal recently after his he's picked up a neck or back injury, and there were rumours swirling before the PGA as well when he played, but didn't really ever contend. And any concerns there at all?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Hideki is one of those guys that he's always got something bothering him. There's always something that comes up with Hideki. So, I just think of all these guys here, I think, like I said, he's definitely got the best course history here. And, if anywhere is going to make him feel right, it's a place like this.
Okay. Speaking of course history, my pick in this category does not have a great record here. So it's Cam Smith for me. There's several missed cuts at Muirfield. But I just can't, we've talked about the key metrics, approach, greens and regulation, tee to green. He ranks so highly for all of them. He's a top class player. I just hope, there's no reason why this course shouldn't suit his game, despite his back record. So I'm hoping within this category, at least, Smith might be the one. So Smith for me. Normally we have the Hochberg hammer, but whenever you're on the show, Ryan, we have the Andrade arrow. So where's it fallen in the US Challengers category?
Yeah, I think the first 2 names that pop out are the two young rookies, Cameron Young and Davis Riley. I mean, both of them have been just setting the world on fire lately. They've been racking up a bunch of top 10s. But for me, I'm still looking at Max Homa. It feels like, for whatever reason, he still feels under the radar, even though he's just coming off his 2nd win of the year at the Wells Fargo Championship. And those wins are great, obviously, but it's really his consistency that's been doing it for me. He's made 14 to 16 cuts this year. He already has 10 top 25 finishes. He ranks top 30 in strokes gained putting, strokes gained tee to green, scoring average, birdie average. And he also finished T6 last year. So, I mean, right now it's hard to go wrong any week with Max Homa with how consistent he's been.
Yeah, completely agree. 2 votes for Homer in this category. He's my pick as well, and you've done a great job of outlining why. We should say, actually, to all the viewers out there, check out the written preview on PickGuru.co.uk, which Ryan kindly put together. Details all of his picks as well. But yeah, Homer in tremendous form, winning form, got great course form, and ranks highly for all the metrics that we're looking for. So 2 votes for Homer in the US Challengers category. Let's cover off 2 categories now, Ryan. So let's do Muirfield specialists and then international talent.
Yeah, Muirfield specialists. Obviously all these guys are here because they've had great records in the past at this course. For me, the separator was recent form. I feel like Matt Kuchar for me had the most consistency as a late 6 straight made cuts, 4 top 16 finishes. And he had a stretch here of 11 straight years where he finished inside the top 26. And that included a win and 5 top 5s. So obviously loves this place, playing well right now. As we move down to international talent, for me, this is just a course that screams Corey Connors. Hasn't always had the highest finishes here, but has made the cut in all 4 of his starts here. He's 11th in total driving, 6th in strokes gained off the tee, 11th in green regulation percentage. You know, he's been one of the best ball strikers for the last few years now, and he's also in a hot stretch as well. He's got 4 top 12 finishes for his last 8 starts. So I'd take Corey Connors out of that group.
Nice. Patrick Reed for me in the Muirfield specialists. He has 3 top 10s here. He's never missed a cut at Muirfield. He was 7th last week, and I've talked about this before, but it just feels like he is building back towards peaking. We know he's got the back class. No, he's not the most popular guy on tour, but it's gonna happen at some point. He's gonna compete, and I wonder if this might be it. And for the international talent section, I came out with Jason Day, and this was all about course form, really. He's 7th and 4th here on his last 2 visits. He hasn't been pulling any trees up with his current form, but within the context of this category, he appealed most to me. But I definitely am fearful of Connors. So we're head to head there, and we'll see how we get on when we look at the results next week. Let's round off the category picks with the wildcard section and the long shot section, and get your final 2 predictions.
Yeah, wild cards. I thought this was kind of a 2-horse race for me. I really liked Keegan Bradley and Chris Kirk. I think I'm leaning towards Kirk a little bit, just because I think he's a little bit more accurate off the tee, and he's got a better short game. But Kirk, I mean, he's coming off a T5 at the PGA Championship, which was his best finish in a major to date. And followed that up last week at Colonial with a top 15 finish. And honestly was in there with a chance to win all week. He just didn't have a very good Sunday. But he's 8th on tour in strokes gained tee to green, which, as we've sort of talked about, is a pretty big stat for this course. And then moving down to long shots, I really like Brendan Steele. Struggled mightily out of the gate in 2022, missed his first 5 cuts. But he's really come along and hit on something. He's made his last 6 cuts with 3 top 15 finishes. One of those was a T9 at the PGA Championship. And for that week, he ranked 4th in strokes gained approach, 3rd in strokes gained tee to green, and led the field in greens in the regulation. So again, great ball striker, hitting it well right now. Made his last 7 cuts at Muirfield. Give me Steele out of that group.
Yeah, you make a strong case there. I'll come back to that in a minute. For me, in the wildcard section, sneaky play is Aaron Wise. Just has a really nice all-round profile. 25th shots gained tee to green, 26th for approach, 18th greens in regulation, and a perfectly respectable 49th proximity, 59th scrambling. I think he's demonstrated the skills you need to compete around here. He was also 9th last year, so he has the course form. Putting is seemingly been the issue, 129th on tour this season. However, he ranked 8th for putting at the PGA last time, and he ranked 22nd for putting in this tournament last year. So if you put all those things together, easier said than done, it may click for Aaron Wise this week. And I know he's been a popular outside selection for quite a few people, but he'll do for me in this category. My final pick in the long shot session was Lucas Herbert. But honestly, this is easily my least confident pick. And having listened to you, Ryan, I'm going to jump ship and go with Steele as well. I love the way you outlined his chance. And I think it reminds me slightly of Sam Burns in that he had a very, very slow start to the year. And Burns has obviously gone into overdrive and has won numerous tournaments now. Let's hope that Steele can do that for both of us. We'll finish in harmony with that one. And we'll finish how we always finish and get a selection from you as to who you think is going to win the Memorial.
Yeah, I I'm gonna go with John Rahm. Nothing,
Okay.
nothing too out of this world here. But you know, his record here, it's hard to look past that. He's the best driver in the world, and I think the key here is that you know he's like I said at the top, you know, he's struggled on the greens a lot, and obviously these ones he feels very very good at, and you know maybe the speed just being up, it's going to make it tough for everybody, and you know he might really hit on something here before we get into the last two majors of the year.
Nice, yeah. Live odds look up here. He's best price 10-1 in the UK, which is outright favourite. But that's perfectly fine. If you get paid at 10-1 every time, you wouldn't be complaining, would you? My pick is Shane Lowry, and he is best price 25-1 on the odds that I'm looking at. I outlined his selection at the top. I think he's just extremely solid. And hopefully everything clicks and he gains an elusive victory, which will be his first victory since winning the Open in 2019, which is incredible when you look at his form figures. But let's hope that it all comes together for Lowry for me this week and Rahm for Ryan. Ryan, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for your insight and your picks. Good luck this week at the Memorial. Good luck to all of the DFS players out there. Please do like this video, subscribe to RotoWire Golf, download the PickGuru app, and you never know, you might win a share of some of the big prizes that we've got on offer this week. Good luck, everyone. Cheers. Bye now.